Welcome back. Here is our next video from CA Final Law SCA booklet on MCQs and case-based scenarios. MCQ number 6. Okay. Mr. Nagarjuna decided to resign from MGT Private Limited due to preoccupation. He sent his resignation letter dated 12th of June 2017 to the company stating that he will resign with effect from 15th of June 2017. Due to non-receipt of any communication from the company, he dropped a mail on 17th of June 2017 to confirm whether the company has received his letter. Finally, company received his letter on 25th of June 2017. In this case, from which date his resignation would be effective? What do you think? It is 25th of June 2017. Let me just quickly take you through the study material regarding this provision. Yes, here it goes. Effective date of resignation. The resignation of a director shall take effect from the date on which the notice is received by the company or the date, if any, specified by the director in the notice, whichever is later. Therefore, in the current situation, even though Mr. Nagarjuna specified his date of resignation as 15th of June, the company received his resignation letter on 25th of June. Therefore, the later date is 25th of June. Therefore, the answer to this question is 25th of June, option D. That is the date of effective. The date of his resignation will become effective. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. HCQ Pharma Limited, a company listed with the Bombay Stock Exchange, incorporated on January 20, 2002. The directors of the company want to appoint Mr. Sanjay, who is the managing director of Sanjay and Associates LLP, firm of lawyers, as an independent director of the company at the AGM to be held on April 25th, 2020. Mr. Sanjay is acting as a legal advisor to Genesis Laboratory Limited, associate company of HCQ Pharma Limited. Sanjay charged consultation fee as given below. So he is providing consultation services wherein he is charging the following years and fees. Gross turnover of Sanjay and associates has been given in the question. Identify the correct statement from the following. So we need to go through the study material regarding this provision. Let me just quickly take you through that. See, here it is. Who cannot be an independent director? This is the section that is given. Go to point number B. Is or has been an employee or proprietor or a partner if any of the three financial years immediately preceding the financial year in which he is proposed to be appointed of a firm of auditors or company secretary in practice or auditors of a company or its holding subsidiary or associate company or any legal or consulting firm that has or had any transaction with the company, its holding subsidiary or associate company amounting to 10% or more of the gross turnover of such firm. So this is what the provision. It means any person who is a partner or a proprietor or an employee of an legal or consulting firm which is deriving 10% or more of its gross turnover as a result of consultancy fee from the company, its holding subsidiary or an associate company, such person is disqualified from being appointed as an independent director of the company. Hope you are clear with this point. Now we'll go through the question. Go through this particular thing. So in 2017, 18, 19, the firm is collecting some consultancy fee and the corresponding gross turnover is given in the question. Now we'll calculate whether it is coming to 10% or not. In 2017-18, it is coming to less than 10%. Hope you are agreeing with this. But in 18-19, the consultancy fees that is charged by this particular LLP firm of lawyers is more than 10%. Hope you are clear. Because of this provision, that immediately preceding 3 financial years, this particular firm is earning more than 10% of its gross revenue from this particular company, that is Genesis Laboratory Limited, which is an associate of HCQ Pharma Limited. Therefore, Mr. Sanjay is disqualified from being appointed as an independent director. Now we'll go through the options. Option A says HCQ Pharma Limited can appoint Mr. Sanjay as an independent director irrespective of the fact that he is legal advisor to its associate company. Is that true? No. We'll go to option B. HCQ Pharma Limited cannot appoint Mr. Sanjay as an independent director as he is managing partner of the firm, which is a legal advisor to its associate company, irrespective of the amount of fee charged. Is that so? No. We need to calculate the fees as well. Option C says HCQ Pharma Limited cannot appoint Mr. Sanjay as an independent director as he is a managing partner of the firm, which is a legal advisor to its associate company, and the fees charged by the firm exceeds the percentage as specified in the Act during one out of the 3 immediately preceding financial years. Yes, this is the correct option that we need to select, because this particular LLP is earning more than 10% of its gross revenue in the year 2018-19, which is within the immediately preceding 3 financial years. So option C is the correct option. We'll go to the last option as well. HCQ Pharma Limited can appoint Mr. Sanjay as an independent director even though he is a managing partner of the firm, which is a legal advisor to its company, as the firm did not charge any fee during the immediately preceding financial year. No, it is immediately preceding 3 financial years. You need to note down this point. It is 3 preceding financial years, not the just the last year. Okay. Hope you are clear. For this question, option C is the correct option. Okay. We'll go to the next question. Number 8. The Board of Directors of MNO Limited is willing to appoint Mr. R as an additional director of the company. The articles of association of the company is silent about the appointment of additional director. The managing director of the company is of the view that the board doesn't have power to appoint additional director. Validate the above situation in the light of legal provisions of Companies Act 2013. Which resolution, whether it is special resolution, ordinary resolution, or the articles of association, should confirm this? We need to go through the study material part. Okay. See, appointment of additional director, section 161. Subsection 1 states, according to this section, the articles of company may confer on its board of directors the power to appoint any person as an additional director at any time. So it is the articles of association which should give the power to the board of directors to appoint additional director. Therefore, we should select the option which states that articles of association is required to empower board of directors. So it is option C. A provision in articles of association is needed conferring the power to the board of directors. If in the articles of association it is specified that you can appoint a additional director by passing a general resolution, then it will go to ordinary resolution. If not, it should if the article specifies it needs a special resolution, then the board of directors should appoint additional director using special resolution. But before appointing, whether it is ordinary resolution or special resolution, the main key point is the articles of association should confer the power to appoint additional director to the board of directors. So that is a basic principle. So the correct option to this question is option C. A provision in articles of association is needed conferring the power to the board of directors. Hope you are clear with this. We'll move on to the next question. Mr. Jed is proposed to be appointed as a director in a public company, RLP Limited. Mr. Z is already a director in 1 dormant company, in 2 Section 8 companies, in 8 public limited companies, and in 9 private limited companies. Out of the 9 private limited companies, 2 out of the 9 private limited companies are subsidiaries to the public limited companies. So they are deemed public companies, right? Determine whether Mr. Jed can accept the new directorship in RLP Limited. So the name itself is saying that RLP Limited is a limited company. So it's a public limited company, right? Now we'll move on to the provisions which states the maximum number of directorships under section 165. According to this section, a person after the commencement of Companies Act 2013 shall not hold office as director, including any alternate directorship in more than 20 companies at the same time. So only 20 companies are allowed. But while calculating this 20 companies, there are some exemptions and legal provisions that are there. Further, out of the above limit of 20 companies, the maximum number of public companies in which he can be appointed as a director shall not exceed 10. So the maximum public limited companies that he can appoint is 10. That he can be appointed as a director is 10, right? Therefore, we'll move on to the next point. It may be noted that the limit of public companies, that is 10, shall include directorship in a private company that are either holding or subsidiary of a public company. So it is saying deemed public companies are also involved here. So for counting 10, you need to consider the public companies, its subsidiaries, its subsidiaries and holding companies, even if they are private limited companies. In the current situation, we have observed that 2 out of 9 private limited companies are there, are the subsidiaries of public companies. Therefore, in total, Mr. Z is a director in 8 plus 2, 10 public limited companies. So he cannot accept more than 10. He can't be a director in more than 10 public limited companies. Therefore, can he accept? No, he cannot accept. As he will go to option A. Option A says as he is already a director in 20 companies. No, that is not the correct option. Option B says Mr. T. This is not Mr. T. This is Mr. Z. Mr. Z is already a director in 10 public companies. This is the reason why he cannot accept the directorship in a new company, that is RLP Limited. Hope you are clear. We'll move on to the next question. Question number 10. ABC Limited is a government company with 14 directors. They are willing to appoint 2 more directors in a company to enable effective management of the company. Mr. Z, the managing director of the company, is of the view that appointment of 2 more directors would be violation of the Companies Act. Examine the situation in lights of legal provisions of Companies Act. We'll move on to the study material. Yes, here it goes. A government company is exempted from the application of section 149 subsection 1 clause B, which requires a company to have a maximum of 15 directors only. And for the provision for the application of first proviso to section 149 subsection 1, which enables a company to appoint more than 15 directors after passing a special resolution. So government company is exempted from these 2 provisions, right? So the maximum number of members is not prescribed. This maximum number of 15 directors is not applicable to the government company. And also for appointing more than 15 directors by passing a special resolution is also not required for a government company. Hope you are clear with this point. So appointment of more than 15 directors is not applicable by passing a special resolution, and the maximum number of 15 is not applicable to a government company. Therefore, option D, government companies are exempted from the provisions of maximum number of directors needed, is the correct option for this question. Hope you are clear with this. With this, we have completed next set of 5 questions. We'll meet again in the next video. Hope these videos are helpful to you, and moreover, I want you to be clear that these are from the new course, not from the old course. This is a booklet that can be downloaded from ICAI BOS Knowledge Portal. Hope you are clear. If you have any doubts, please comment below. I'll be reverting back to you at the earliest. If you have any doubts, feel free to comment. If you find these videos helpful, please do like, share and subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe, because it will be a boosting for me. I have observed that non-subscribers are watching more. The watch time from non-subscribers are more. Okay, I want you to people, please encourage me so that I can do more and more helpful videos for you people. Thanks for watching.